My name is Anthony Blackstone. I live almost within view of the bridge. If I take my boat around the corner, there the bridge is all the time. And someone just recently mentioned porpoises in the river. Think about that. Porpoises in the river. Right where the towers are scheduled to go. As you come out of Lockley's Creek, there's a whole school of porpoises. I'm sure that when Virginia Power got into this business, they didn't think too much about John Smith or porpoises or the view from the bridge, although that part may have been something they knew they were going to have to deal with if they couldn't avoid it. When people come across the Norris Bridge into Lancaster County, I guarantee you that they're not thinking about power. What they think about, and someone said you can't really put that into words, what you think when you cross the bridge, but I'll give you one word, and it is wow. I think it behooves everybody from Virginia Power who is involved in this, as well as the SCC, to make that trip if you haven't already. And I also think it would be important for you to be on the water and in the vicinity of the bridge. We have here the view from the Norris Bridge, probably, at least in my experience, one of the finest unobstructed views of a major river on the east coast of the United States and possibly anywhere in the country. Now, what Virginia Power is up against here is an apples and oranges situation. There's actually no competition. No Virginia Power argument is going to defeat the necessity to maintain a national treasure. And if you think that's too strong a language for what you see from the Rappahannock River Bridge, from the Norris Bridge, then you're missing the point of the value of national treasures. What does John Smith have to do with this current argument? What he has to do is that we who live here and others, other citizens of Virginia who may be concerned about this treasure that exists down here between Lancaster and Middlesex County, is that we are the successors to John Smith. We're the custodians of this treasure. This decision is not going to be made by dollar signs or kilowatts. This decision is going to be made by what value the state organizations like the SCC place on the maintenance of a national treasure that cannot be replaced. Can you imagine blocking? Well, let me just back up for just a minute. As Carl said earlier, the depth of the river is on nautical charts, and so is the height of the bridge above the water, which I believe is in the vicinity of 115 feet. I don't know where else you can find a view from 115 feet in the middle of a river where you can see almost as unlimited distance both to the west and to the east. And to the east, you have the river opening up to the Chesapeake Bay. On the west coast of the United States, there's nothing like this. There's nothing like this anywhere else in the United States that Virginia has on the east coast, on the west side of the bay. 4 major rivers: the Potomac, the Rappahannock, the York, and the James. These are national treasures. This is not just a community that needs a backup power line. National treasures and industrial structures just don't match, and they never will. The decision to put towers across the river and block the view, Dominion Power will say it doesn't block the view. It does block the view. It obstructs the view. Pick the word you want. Where there are no towers now, there will be towers if that's what the decision is made. The view has no alternative. Dominion Power has an alternative, a proven alternative that they've used many times. They're very good at industrial activity. They're not so good at trying to put something over on a local community or on the SCC, or not consider that they are also custodians of a national treasure. And it doesn't matter whether you work for Dominion Power, whether you're an attorney for either side, no matter what you are, you personally should be a custodian of that view, because it's there as long as we allow it and support it and defend it. And once it's gone, it's gone. Thank you.
You may be excused.